안녕하세요. najummateacher입니다. 이번 영상은 인천에 있는 한 고등학교 학생들의 미국의 주거 형태와 관련된 질문에 원어민 친구들이 답하는 영상입니다. 먼저 미국과 우리나라 아파트의 차이점을 아는 게 중요한데요. 한 건물에 각각 독립된 가구가 생활한다는 유사점은 있지만 미국의 경우 아파트를 살 수가 없고 월세를 내며 살아야 합니다. 미국 문화 자체가 샐러드 볼처럼 다양성을 가지고 있기에 원어민 친구들의 대답은 참고로만 알아두시길 바래요.
Hi, my name is Peter.
Everyone, my name is Lisa.
There's a lot of apartments. I think that we do have a lot of houses. I think one of the advantages or disadvantage, but America is a pretty big country in terms of the amount of land. I think that it's sort of a common goal or a frequent goal for families to have a house where you have a backyard and you have isolated walls from your neighbors and you sort of have your own little patch of land, so to speak. And because there's so much land, it's less expensive to do that here than it is in an area where the availability of land is far less. So when you come to big American cities, again, that is the situation where you don't have enough land. So in New York, for example, within a certain area of downtown, you'll find everything is almost exclusively an apartment or a condo because there isn't the land available for a house. And the amount that it would cost to build a house would be so prohibitive, it just isn't done. So it depends a little bit where you are. Now, I live in a suburb of Detroit and I have a house, but right across the street from us is a row of apartments. So in our neighborhood, we have a mixture of houses and apartments. And so certainly there are apartments, and I've lived in many apartments in my life. I grew up in a house, but when I went to college, I lived in apartments for quite a long time. And then, now I have a house again.
Yes, lots live in apartments. In fact, the younger people now, buying a house is out of the question. It's so expensive. I don't know what the percentages are as far as people in houses versus apartments versus co-ops, where a whole bunch of people live together under the same roof and they share meals together. That would be a co-op. They might have separate places to sleep. There are lots of different ways that people live. It could be different buildings, or it could just be a house where everybody pays a certain amount every month and you share meals. So like maybe you have to cook breakfast this week. And then next week you have to cook dinner on Tuesdays and Thursdays or something. It depends how many people live there. There are places in West Ann Arbor where there are co-ops where there are huge buildings. And people come together for meals, but they have their own bedrooms. They have a common area where they watch TV or they play music together. So a co-op is a place where it's not just a single family living in a house. It could be just one house, or it could be a bunch of buildings, different buildings where people live together, they cohabit, and they share responsibilities for running the household.
Got it. Do almost all Americans live in houses? So your answer is no?
I don't think so. I don't think anymore. I think that was, quote, the American dream in the 50s and 60s. But nowadays, housing is very expensive. And Ann Arbor is changing. People are building these huge houses. I mean, mine, my little tiny house, Nana.
So adorable, so good.
Yeah, I like it. It's
And also,
cozy.
I really love your backyard. So
Thank you.
pretty.
So anyway, I'm not sure though about the numbers of people who are in houses versus apartments versus other kinds of places to live.
Got it.
Actually, a lot of people are homeless also. Some Americans don't have any place to live at all. And they're out on the street or they're in a shelter, which is changing a lot now with COVID because you can't have all these people under one roof.
시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 영상이 조금이나마 도움이 되었다면 좋아요와 구독 부탁드릴게요. 항상 건강하시고 행복하세요. 바이.